Thank you so much. I am happy to introduce our next speaker, Debbi, for 30 years, and has lived in Morris County for 25 years. She is a mom to a soon-to-be college graduate and has volunteered for Moms Demand Action since 2019. Debbi?
Hi everyone. When I was asked to speak today, I thought, sure, I have a lot to say on this topic. I went through a dozen or so starts because even thinking about this was incredibly challenging. I've been a public school teacher in New Jersey for nearly 30 years, and let me tell you what a joy that has been. And although I've had my share of hard times in that, I have never once truly feared that someone would come with a gun and shoot us. Now that may be naive and very serious denial, but I have always known that in New Jersey, people don't just walk around with guns, so I felt okay. At least I thought I did, until I started writing this, and actually had to think about my feelings. I talked to colleagues and other teachers that I know. We all had the same kind of underlying unease that we just couldn't name. We do fear. We're just not always aware of it. It's under the surface, rearing up when we get alerts about school shootings in other places. We stop, we breathe, we give each other looks in the hall, we talk at lunch, we pretend we're not afraid. We feel safer in our New Jersey bubble, but we know bubbles can burst, so we tread lightly. We don't know who, we don't know why, we don't know when. We practice in our classrooms with our littlest friends, so they will know how to think they are staying safe. We don't go into a lot of detail, of course, but we know. And our hearts stop when they aren't silent, and when the person patrolling the hall jiggles the handle. We just hope they never have to know, because most of us are parents, and we know that in the worst scenario, we would have to choose to make our own children orphans to try to protect the children of other parents. So we spend our days hiding and suppressing and hoping that the strict gun laws that we do have in New Jersey will be the stronghold that we need. We were told recently that next year we will have security officers. This is meant to make us feel safer, I suppose, but for me at least, it will only cause me to fear daily. I will not be able to suppress that fear. I will not be able to provide a space where hopefully we never have to face such horrors. Laws reflect the values of a community. Now, it's true that criminals won't necessarily follow the laws, but that's the part that makes them criminals. So I never follow anyone down that particular ridiculous path of thinking. Yes, laws reflect the values of a community. Here in New Jersey, we have folks who hunt and target shoot, and even those, I suppose, who live in fear. But for the most part, people aren't walking around armed to the teeth. If we saw someone like that, we'd be getting out of there fast. This happened to a friend of mine right in next door Pennsylvania at a farmer's market. There she was buying granola and fresh flowers, and there's a guy strapped with an AR-15, armed to the teeth, like something's gonna go down. He's the only one who's gonna save everybody. She got out of there immediately. Anyway, here in New Jersey, we really don't have that kind of culture, at least not on the surface, and I, for one, would like to keep it that way. We need our laws to continue to reflect our values. Consider what you value. Do we want our future to be one of fear? Do we want to raise our children to live in fear? Or do we want to give them a world where they can be free to live? As teachers, we do have fears. Our fears here are not perhaps as constant as they may be in more gun-valuing places, but they live under the surface. They color and contour the choices we make each moment. In New Jersey, we are fortunate to still feel relatively closed off to those fears. It is less likely here, but the threat is not zero. We, or at least I, would prefer less fear, not more. Easy access to guns does not make us safer. People say sometimes teachers should be armed. Trust me, that will not make us safer. The presence of fear, the culture of fear, the stance of fear does not make us safer. Common sense gun laws in a society that values humanity makes us safer. Knowing that New Jersey does, for the time being anyway, have very stringent gun laws, coupled with strict penalties, makes us safer. And that's why the Bruin decision is so concerning. The safeguards our elected officials have carefully and thoughtfully put into place could be taken away without our approval, without our vote, and against our values. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. Let us stand together and protect the mothers of children and the children of mothers by keeping our schools safe and our streets safe, by keeping our gun laws strong. Demand it here in New Jersey, and demand that Congress reinstate the assault weapons ban nationwide. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to